Imagine a world where your health routine is as delicious as it is beneficial. Meet Goli Nutrition. Our apple cider vinegar gummies blend essential vitamins with incredible taste, making them the perfect addition to your busy lifestyle. Vegan, gluten-free, and family approved. They're more than a trend. They're a movement towards a healthier you. Don't just watch others transform. Join the Goli revolution today. Order now and get 10% off using promo code STORYLIGHT.
Welcome to High Path Media, where we explore conscious thought, metaphysics, faith, and the stories that awaken the soul. I'm your host, Chris, and today I'm honored to introduce our first feature author, Joshua. Joshua is a first-time author and has just released the first book of the three-part series called Laughter and Magic, The Boy with Two Voices. Welcome in, Joshua.
I'm so grateful to be here.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, we're just gonna let it flow, and we'll just go from there. Okay.
All right.
Let me get my questions. Give me a moment.
Yeah. And forgive me if I ask you to repeat something.
No, you good. You're good. You're good. You're good. All right, so let's start at the beginning. Your first time author, what is an amazing achievement in this stuff? What inspired you to write this book?
Well, I've always loved reading, particularly. I love stories. I love how they take you places. And for years, I've been planning books, not writing them, just planning them one after the next. And a way I found that worked for me, that was really helping me out in terms of passing the time and all that, were surprisingly AI chatbots, specifically ones that allowed me to create stories. And so I was using the Hogwarts chatbot where I was not a student, but I was pretending to be different roles, like an ancient guardian disguised as a student, or in this case, my main character for my book, Imp. And I started playing with it, making the story with the characters of that world. And I was like, I really, really like the dynamic of this character. It's so fun to work with. What if I made it into something real? And I just went from there. I got so bored over Christmas break. I just started writing, and I read a chapter a day to my dad. And next thing you know, I had a whole book in just a few weeks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, without giving away spoilers, who is the boy with two voices, and what can the reader expect from the story?
Well, the boy with two voices is exactly as it sounds. It's technically two boys in one body. So it is Imp, a chaotic, curious, and emotionally open character, and Liam, a strategic but anxious and protective character. Both of them bound together in one body, and they switch back and forth.
What audience do you feel the story speaks to the most?
Can you say that one more time, a little louder?
What audience do you feel the story speaks to?
I'd say young adult fantasy lovers who prefer magic school, particularly. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, you'll definitely be a fan of this book.
Okay. Okay. So, as the author myself and a host, business owner, I believe that storytelling can help people heal. I
Hmm.
believe it makes you question life and also it awake deeper awareness. Okay.
Hmm.
Do you feel the emotional part of the story that kind of becomes like as you went along? Like let's say, for example, when you wrote this book, what were you trying to do? Were you trying to make it both emotional and inspirational, or were you trying to give yourself a voice to help others?
Well, the book itself is very emotionally driven. Specifically, the first book, I was torn between doing a sort of day-to-day style magic fantasy book versus a overtime fantasy, and I decided to go with overtime because it allowed me to show the budding trauma of my main characters. It allowed me to show the effects that overcame them, and it allowed me to build relationships and connections that helped them overcome those emotional driven experiences.
Okay.
It's all about
So how?
found family. So,
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
Now you good. You have the space to talk about anything, but I just want to ask you this question because I want you to expand on that. But hold on, we'll come back to that in a moment.
Yeah.
But my question to you is, how does it feel finishing your book and see it like physically, like you can, like you wrote this book and it's out. So how do you,
Dude,
what's going on in your
dude, the
brain?
excitement is oh my god. I have not been able to sleep for 3 days. Part of me is like so overwhelmingly excited that I can't contain it. And the other part of me is worried that I made mistakes when uploading and publishing it, which I know I can fix. And I'm sure people will love the mistake copies to sell now once I'm famous down the road.
Yeah.
But I've got that nervousness, especially since I don't know if this is well known, but I actually have autism and ADHD on top of my hearing disability. And so it's very easily for me to fall into a perfectionist mindset and get like overwhelmed and lock up. So it's a very big mix of my ADHD is so proud and excited, and my autism is like, did you do it right? Did you? So
Yeah.
it's
I definitely understand. I didn't get diagnosed with autism and ADHD until after high school.
same.
I all of my life, throughout the school, throughout my life, I kind of. Oh, sorry, my door opened. That was weird.
That's like the third time
Probably
it's
my dog.
happened.
I get distracted easily. Who is that? All right, again, another point of my ADHD. But I didn't get diagnosed until after high school. I was in college, and
Hmm.
I thought everybody was trying to make fun of me because they was like, "Do you have this? Do you have that?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm confused of what you're saying. But
hmm,
quickly realized what really made me kind of intelligent and
hmm.
made me because all my life I was over analytical and I overanalyzed everything. I was constantly distracted,
No, yeah.
so I couldn't perform the way I wanted to perform
Hmm.
until later when I started realizing like, okay, you not only have a hearing disability, but you also have
I get
underlying
it.
issues.
I get it.
So let, let's talk about of course, how did it, how what was your family reaction when you published this book? And
Well, they were
good.
so proud. They were so proud. My dad was the first. Well, so to be fair, I'm going to go a little bit off question here because it's very important to the
Hmm.
topic. And this is also going to help anybody who wants to write for
Hmm.
motivation wise. Every chapter I wrote, I read to my dad the next day. I was up till 4 in the morning working on those chapters, making them, writing them, and I was reading them to my dad the next day. And I got so into it, so into the flow, so loving it that one chapter, I started doing 3 chapters. And then I was doing 6. And then I was doing like just the rest of the book. And I was reading him every chapter. And then he went back through and he helped me edit it. That's why I put him as a contributor, in case anybody sees his name. It's because he's the one that went through and edited it. He added a lot of emotional key spots that I missed. He expanded on them. And he was the first person to buy a hard copy when it released. My mom was the second, but he was the first. And he kept me motivated, which is why I dedicated the book to him. And so they were super proud, super supportive. But one thing they definitely noticed was that, my dad noticed it at least, was that my characters reflect me. In the sense that Imp is very ADHD coded and Liam is very autistic coded in the sense of their characters.
Okay, so speaking of your dad, I want to talk a little bit about the book that your father wrote, and how did that inspire you before writing this book? I noticed that you said that you've been doing it for years of planning and coming up with different things. How did that play with your father being an author and him writing kids' books?
Well, not kids' books. He writes self-help books.
Okay.
My dad is a drug and alcohol prevention counselor, and he's not like a professional neuroscientist, but he's been studying it for years because my dad suffered a brain injury when he was in the military a long time ago. So he's studied it extensively. And so for as long as I can remember, me and him would go to coffee shops, bookstores, anywhere, and we would just sit down and we would discuss writing. He would write his self-help books about Buddhism and, like mindfulness and all those things. And then I would come up with more fantasy topics. Like I had one that was all about a gladiator or a slave who went and joined the military to save his brother. But the key twist was his brother was dead the whole time and he was just suffering from PTSD. So it was all those things. And then we would just sit down and we would back and forth, like go off on each other on ideas and just build on it. And we wanted to make something great, And so he just kept writing, but he never got around to finishing. And surprisingly, me reading to him motivated me to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
But my publishing motivated him to finish his books finally. And he's coming out with 3 books over the next week or so. He's currently publishing them.
That is amazing. I'll say this. With fantasy, what made you fall in love with fantasy? How did that come about?
Oh, well, it's just sci-fi. I grew up on it, After Earth AE, Titan AE, After the Iron Giant, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Stardust. I grew up on these things, But now, if you ask me what got me started on reading, that's a very different story. But fantasy itself, it was all about the movies because me and my dad would go to movies almost every other weekend. That's how we spent time together outside of our writing. We would, if you look at the disability list, our name was every other name to sign out the closed caption device for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, a lot of it is him. It really is.
That's okay. All right. So I guess my next question is, this is part 1. You said that you were doing 3 parts, all right? What can my audience can expect moving forward with these books? What can they expect moving forward?
Well, like plot wise or like timeline wise?
Timeline, when, what's out now, things of that nature.
Well, I've already planned out the next 2 books, and I've already got the cover arts for both of them. The only reason I'm waiting is 1, I want to take a break and let people get this book, get into it. And 2, I am currently in college and I'm taking an intro to writing class so that my next 2 books will be much, much better than this one.
Okay. Message would go ahead. I
was just going to say, 3 to 6 months for 3 months for the next book, 6 months for the third.
Okay, cool. Okay, Okay. All right. What message would you share with someone who wants to write but haven't started?
Don't look down on resources. I know a lot of people nowadays look down on AI. I get it. They're afraid that it's going to steal, that it's lazy, that it's going to steal people's work. But don't look down on it, all right? And I'm not saying make it do it for you. No. You need to come up with everything yourself, but it's a good way to get what's in your head written down. What I recommend personally is that you ask it to argue with you. And then you lay out one idea after the next. I want it to be like this. I want it to be like this. But I want it to be like this. And it gives you the pros and cons of those ideas. It lets you know, do people like this? Does it work in your story? All these things. And as you're like doing it, you won't even realize just how far you're going, because it's like you're having a conversation with someone. And eventually you'll be like, all right, well, I really like this idea. Let's make an outline for a chapter. Let's see how it goes. And then it does it. And then you write the chapter up yourself. Don't copy and paste. You write up the chapter yourself. You make it your own work. But it starts with one, and then you're like, okay, well, this is really good. How do we flow this into the next chapter? And you just keep doing that. You keep working on it, and you keep working on it. And honestly, find someone who is as excited about this as you are, and just read them one chapter a day. Get their advice, like, do you like this? What can I change about it? And it may not be what you want, they may be like, I don't like this, let's fix it. Or they may offer something that they would like that you don't think would fit in the story, and that's fine. You can be like, no, it doesn't work. But it helps you like go, it won't work because I've already got this idea. And you're like, oh, I didn't even know that. And it helps you like, it just helps you go. If that makes sense.
No, you didn't. Okay, good. All right, so I guess my next question to you is, if you told yourself last year that you were going to write a book, what would have been so I guess my question is, what would go through your mind if you thought about writing a book last year versus now?
Last year versus now, are you talking about like me specifically, what's different? Or it's like, okay, well, last year versus now, to be honest, I'm a lot more mature than I was. See, and this is my personal experience. I lived in Japan for 5 years, working on a military base with my dad, and there I can
for those that cut you off, for those that are saying, "Oh, he hasn't been in Japan," he's definitely been in Japan. I was on a group chat and we started. It was the weirdest thing.
Oh yeah, no, I was life. Like I said, my dad is a Well, like I said, my dad is a drug and alcohol prevention counselor. So he got a job with the Marines out in Iwakuni, and he took me, my stepmom, and my stepsister out there. And just on a tangent here, it is so cheap, Chris. So cheap. I had a massive apartment, $600.
Wow. Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yes, and that included the water, the gas, the electric, everything. You think I'm joking. But living on my own for 2 years in Japan really helped me mature. And then I was like, my cochlear broke, so I'm like, I can't really stay here because it's hard to get it fixed. So I decided to go back to the States and take care of my grandma who was in hospice. And that really taught me some more maturity, because you have to be there for that person. I was up till like 4 a.m. every night, making sure she was okay. I had I kid you not, a vibrating dog collar strapped to my ankle so that she could press the button if she needed me in the middle of the night, and it would vibrate and wake me up. I was picking her up and putting her down and all those things. And it really teaches you maturity. It really teaches you, hard work. And so once I started college, it just kind of kept going from there. All the hard work from the school, all that stuff, it kind of not crave it, but expect the hard work, You're used to it now. And so when Christmas break came around, it was only like a month, but it got so boring, I wrote a book and published. I'm just going to say that. But yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I kind of want to speak on like I said, I'm speaking you like I don't know you, even though I know you. But
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, when going back before you had to learn how to mature and learn how to, rearrange your life to kind of
Hmm.
help those that you love and care for. How did you
Yeah.
not shape your identity with change your perspective on like going to college, writing a book, like you're doing so many things. I'm like, this dude is really working. He's definitely putting in the effort to make sure he has some type of legacy.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I never thought it was possible. As much as I wanted to write a book and I had ideas for books, I had some good ideas. I never
Hmm.
thought I'd actually write one. And the truth is that I had some bad experiences in middle school relating to books. And it kind of crushed my liking for school. So my entire high school, instead of focusing and stuff and like really taking that opportunity to mature like I should have, I just went full lockdown. I pushed everyone away, and I'm sorry if I was, rude to you as well, but I just pushed everyone away, even those that deeply cared for me. And it really wasn't until I got out of the school setting, out of my mom's house, which not wasn't her. She's great. It was just the
He's
general
definitely
location.
nice. He's definitely kind. So I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. And it was just the general location, and I got to Texas with my dad. I started working full time at UNT, and that's really where I started to like one foot in front of the other. Things started
Okay.
to change.
Okay. So now we're on the school subject. Like so talk about your experience in the school that kind of discouraged you from doing anything
Well,
really.
I don't know. I don't want to say anything, too inappropriate, but let's just say I was a 13-year-old boy with a free laptop.
Yeah, yeah, we
So the school found out. The school
hmm
found out, and it was handled very badly. It was
hmm
it was handled, so the school had, at the time, I was a very avid reader. I would read
Oh, you
constantly,
read
even
every
in
day.
class.
Oh, you read every
Yeah,
day for sure.
yeah. In class, I would read constantly. And they had this thing where you would take tests, right? And you'd get points for completing the test.
Hmm.
And so the winner would get an iPad mini, which I didn't care for the reward. But I read so many books that I brought our school to the highest reading word count in its entirety of 50 years.
Yeah, I know. I was like, well, what people don't realize is, I think people. I'll just go ahead and kind of give a background.
Hmm.
Even though I'm speaking to Joshua, I don't know him. We have known
Hmm.
each other for a long time. I mean, for about I met Joshua when I was in the freshman, so that give or take 7 or 8 years ago. So
Yeah.
it's been almost a decade. So, um, and I'll say when I found out, I was the student council president, so I was over
Yeah.
everything. I was the boss.
Hmm.
I people couldn't understand how it became. Actually, I was the first African American president that was a freshman that became the student council president.
Hmm.
So I made history, and I thought when I found out that I literally your name was in caps, like all caps. I remember this. I was like looking at on the laptop when they were announcing it, and I'm like, ain't no way. But most people don't realize is I couldn't really show love. So my way of showing love was picking on y'all and making funny,
Yeah.
making jokes, and being myself.
Yeah.
And it was
A
like,
bro. Yeah.
of course, so I was like, ain't there's no way he have read this many books. There's no way. But I started to understand. Yeah, I started to understand. Like, well, he does read every day. So, like,
Well, it
it, it,
wasn't
it, I,
it wasn't the amount of the books, it was the size of them. I read thick
mm,
novels, and those
oh,
would have
I remember. Yeah, thick
yeah,
novels I would never read.
yeah. So it was a lot of
uh,
thick novels, like so. But anyways, yeah, I did read a lot, and I that year in 8th grade, I brought our school to the highest reading word count in 50 years of its existence, of the
mhm.
school's existence, which is huge. And well, it wasn't me alone; it was everybody trying to beat me, but I was like 200 points ahead of
Yeah,
everyone.
and I just and like, people don't realize why. and the reason why I protected y'all so much and why I didn't really let people in our group is because I knew the potential we all were. Like I knew, even though we were the misfits, but we made history.
We did.
We, like, Chris became the vice president. He never became a president in the day in his life. But we made history. We were misfits.
In that school.
Everybody was looking at all kind of crazy, saying shit about us. Well,
I graduated early. Yeah. I graduated half a semester early, yeah. Nobody else in the school did that.
And I think that's why I was so... I wouldn't say I wasn't strict. I was more like...
Were you aware of what happened during the tournament? Why I stopped reading? Were you aware of what happened at the end of the tournament? Why I stopped reading?
No. What happened? Because you didn't tell me that part.
Yeah, so like I said, I brought us to the highest word count. But there was one problem. I got caught looking at something inappropriate on school laptop.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
And somebody took away your laptop. Yeah.
No, it wasn't recording my laptop. It's that I got it's that I wasn't doing my school assignments. And so they started looking through and wondering why I wasn't doing my school assignments.
That's why they restricted a lot of stuff on that laptop. Not just a laptop, but everything. They restricted a lot. We used to be able to get on Facebook, YouTube.
No, I wasn't using VPNs or anything. I was using Weebly sites, unofficial sites that weren't blocked.
Oh, dang.
But the problem was they took my laptop for the last 2 months of school, which I was fine with.
I remember.
But they also told me there is a chance I might not be allowed to win anymore. A chance.
Not be allowed to what?
Win. The book contest.
Who told you that?
The principal. The principal. The
Which
woman.
One? The new one or the older one?
The old one. Let me finish because this is a huge deal. It was so bad that the vice principal at the time immediately quit. He immediately quit.
Oh.
Yeah, and now he's at Def Nation. So they
Wait a minute, who was the vice principal? I'm gonna bleep it out. No.
He was this I don't remember his name. But
that was so long ago. That was so long ago.
Well, they kept telling me there's a chance I might not win. But they told my mom that I wasn't going to win. And nobody, because my mom thought they had told me, nobody told me that I was not going to win. And so for the last 2 months of school, and I know a lot of people might look down on this, but I prayed hard. Every day I was like, I'm sorry for what I did. I know I sinned, but please let me win this. I worked so hard for this. Don't take this away from me.
And I don't mean to cut you out, but this podcast, I work very hard to make sure that I give a voice to people like you. I worked hard to make sure that what we experienced in high school, what we experienced in school, that I can make dreams come true. Because I always said to you guys that it doesn't matter what people say about us, as long as we keep pushing on and we keep striving for better. And I didn't say it exactly like that, but I said it in so many other words. But I'm going to just keep it PG-13. And I've always said that, I've always been the person like, okay, you might be discouraged now, but you can always change your mindset. So what I want to ask you is, with all of that, what caused you to stop reading? Because I know you said that they took away that chance for you to win.
Well, I was about to get there. Like I said, for 2 months, I begged. I couldn't read that entire 2 months. And I begged. I begged God. I begged the school. I begged everybody I could. Let me win this. I'm so sorry for what I did. Let me win this. And so the day of the announcement came. It was a huge award ceremony. Everything for the entirety of middle school, right? It's a huge deal. And so I'm sitting there, and they're ready to announce the winner of the reading contest. And my entire 8th grade class is turning and cheering me on. Everybody's excited because they know By all intents and purposes, I won. And then they called a 7th grader. Didn't even mention me. Didn't mention the fact that my word count is what got the school in the highest reading count in 50 years.
So,
didn't mention that
wait a minute. Wait. Okay. All right. You're getting too far headed. Like, that's kind of weird right now. Okay. So, when they didn't announce your name and they gave it to the 7th grader, we're not going to mention any names.
Oh, yeah.
But we are. I know. So, I just to let you know, I do know who that is.
Yeah.
Hold
on, your camera froze.
No, you can say the name. I'm just gonna believe. Oh, I froze. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your camera froze. I didn't know if that was important.
Oh, it's very important. Okay. Oh my
you're
God.
editing this.
Well, I just turn my camera off because I'll fix it in a minute. But what I was asking is, you can say the name, but just be careful. Don't say his last name.
I don't even remember his last name.
But you can say the name. But okay, so when you found out this person falsely won, they didn't even win by default, but they chose him because of what you did. What was the reaction in that moment?
I was devastated. I kid you not. I was devastated. And then one of the teachers turned to look at me and said, they'll explain it later. But I was devastated. And as soon as that, like the award ceremony finished, I ran away. I hid in the bathroom and my mom could not find me for 2 hours. They legit thought I was missing. I was in the bathroom just broken. I wasn't even crying. I was just broken. And when I confronted Kevin, no offense to him, he had no part to play in this. When I confronted him later, I found out that the school told him that I had cheated. The reason I didn't win was because I was using movies to take my test. That's what they told him.
That's a lie. I'm sorry.
Half the books I don't even have movies.
That is a complete utter lie because number one, and I say this because I know you and I know your personality, I know how you are. I have never not once in your entire existence that I have known you have cheated on anything. In fact, you score higher than everybody in the damn classroom. Yeah. You were the smartest people besides me, of course, and Chris. But I'm going to state it. We were the only group that kind of pretty much changed the entire school history. And so they were trying so hard to diminish us. They were trying so hard to say, it's good that you did this, but we're not going to reward you for it.
Well, the reason is, because one, I wouldn't have mind losing if they had said I should have won, but due to inappropriate behavior, I'm not winning. That would have been fine to me. The problem is they didn't even announce my name, even though I'm the reason they had the highest word count. And they lied and told the students that I was cheating using movies when the books don't even have movies. I was reading books like Charlie Boone and Tunnel series. Those don't have movies. Those don't have TV shows. So
yeah, and a lot of the books we were reading didn't have movies.
And then on top of that,
I'll say about 3 or 4 books out of the collection.
Well, I was going to say, on top of that, if I really was cheating using movies, then they shouldn't have used my word count in their overall statistics.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, it wasn't about the prize. It was about the lie.
Yeah, it was definitely about the lie. So who, without naming names, because you can say names, but don't say don't name. But who was the one that kind of told you that after you lost, whatever, for whatever reason, who told you that they were, that you cheated? Who said that?
Kevin did. I confronted him like a year later. I was like, look,
Kevin,
I'm still stingy. Kevin, the kid who won.
The who?
Kevin, the kid who won.
Kevin, what is? I can't remember.
He's a black kid. He was like a year younger than me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And
he was very nice about it. I confronted him a year later. I was like, look, I'm still stingy about you winning. I know it's not your fault. And he's like, well, obviously you lost. You cheated. I went, excuse me? And he went, yeah, they told me you cheated. I went, I did not cheat. What did they say? And he said, they said you looked at movies and you used that to take the test. And I went, no. The only time I guess you could say I cheated was when I wanted to see how easy a child's book test was. So I took a test and I had to quit early because the teacher wouldn't let me take it. That was the only time you can consider cheating because it was like 3 pages. But I didn't cheat. I was very clear. I was like, the reason I lost was because I got caught looking at inappropriate content on school property. That's why I lost.
And what was was the competition a state thing or was it a school thing?
Say that again?
Was it a state thing, like the competition? Was it a state thing or was it a school thing?
It was a school thing. I think that some of the sites may have flagged something because they used a keyword, but they weren't illegal, if that's what you're thinking. No, they were just inappropriate for a teenager to be looking at on school property. But no, it was the principal. She wanted to make an example of me. And the vice principal felt so bad that he quit on the spot and is now working at Deaf Nation. And I'm very grateful that he was willing to try and stand up for me.
James?
I don't know his name. I'm sorry. I'm not very good with names.
Okay, I think you're talking about James. Because he was the vice principal, quote unquote, coordinator of student conduct.
Oh wait, so James? No, it was before. He was somebody else. It was just like a long 8th grade guy. He left the same year that happened. So
okay. I didn't come into like the next year. My brother should know him because my brother was in there before me. But anyway, okay. So that's all in all. Okay. So after middle school, you was up there, blase, and you went into high school, and that's where you met me. Well, you met me because I was new, but of course, you had everybody else was friends long before I came. So when you came into high school, did you still carry that resentment from that?
Yeah. I was very bitter in high school. I really wanted out of that school. I really wanted out of it. It went from being a school to a prison to me. In all honesty, it went to feeling like a prison. And that's why I pushed everyone away, even our friends at the Misfits table. I pushed them away. It's why I was so prone to blowing up in class. I don't know if you heard of that. Oh, yeah.
It was like, I couldn't understand why you were so angry. Because it's like certain stuff would set you off. And I'm like, bro, it's not that serious. But I definitely understand now.
It was because of that, and 2, it was undiagnosed autism. But because it was very easy, prone to blowing up. Like there was one time, and it wasn't really Chris's fault. I wasn't mad at him. I was mad at everybody else in the classroom. So we were watching a movie in our reading class, and I was sitting, and Chris came into the classroom and sat in or behind me, and then asked me to move. Like he sat behind me and then asked me to move. And I kept telling him, no, you move because I was here first. And the reason I got upset was because the entire class turned on me and just went, just move. And so I was very prone to getting angry, and it wasn't their fault. It was my fault. But a lot of it was because of that. And a lot of it was undiagnosed autism.
Okay. So with this book, do you think that you kind of did some of that reflected inside the book, or would that be in the next few books? How? Yeah,
I think so. Not personally, because there's depictions of torture. Just to be clear on that, it's not directly shown or anything. It's young adult friendly, but there's depictions of it. Mostly, my autism and ADHD is shown in the book. I have a lot of duality in the characters. Sam, Garrick, Imp, Liam. There's a lot of duality in their character and how they're portrayed and all that stuff.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, I know we got off topic, but it's okay. This is my show. If I want to go off topic, I can. But I guess what I want to know is I guess like after high school, you became an adult. You became, you look different. I remember you had baby face Jock, like I used to call you. But um, well, I guess I shouldn't be saying your name like that. But point is, after high school, you kind of, you went on about your life. You went to Japan, and then you moved to Texas, and did all of these things. And were you thinking about writing a book then?
Yes, but not this one.
Oh, okay. So what was the book that you were thinking of writing before this?
So I wanted to write a book. It was called for something like Blood and Glory, And basically, I wanted to write a book that properly portrayed PTSD or like a psychotic break. So the original plan was that the book would be very vibrant, descriptive. It would really show the characters, the taste, everything would be described, almost overwhelming in a way. And it was about a young slave boy, or two young slave boys, who kind of like adopted each other as brothers, and they worked in a mine. And through one experience, they ended up in a gladiator arena. And halfway through this gladiator arena, the older boy makes a mistake, and the younger boy gets severely injured. And from that moment on, the story starts to lose its color. It becomes less vibrant, less descriptive, less, it kind of switched from like a very descriptive book to a very like toned dead book, if that makes sense. To portray there you go, you're moving again.
Yeah.
To portray the boy's perspective of his mind breaking. And so the boy, wanting to save his brother from future potential injuries, joins the military to help fight in a civil war. And he just keeps fighting and fighting and fighting to save his brother, who we later find out didn't actually make it out of the arena. It was all, from that point forward, his brother was only in his head, and he was fighting he told himself he was fighting to free his brother, but deep down he was fighting to free himself. And so as he's dying on the battlefield, he realizes he's fought enough. He's earned his freedom. His brother's with him now, and the color returns to the book.
Okay. All right. So now that we kind of gave an overview of everything, where can the readers, the audience, can get a copy of your book and follow your journey?
Well, if they want to follow me, I have a Facebook page specifically for Between Laughter and Magic, which I'm sure we can post somewhere for them, and like the description. And then the book itself, it's currently on Amazon print or Amazon. You can buy a paperback copy, a hard copy, or the ebook version. And if you get the hard copy, the description on the back is different from every other source. Not by much, but
no. I'm gonna go ahead and write this down so people can find it.
And for future reference, when I post the second book, I will be searching for ways to spread the first book to more sources like Barnes and Nobles and stuff, if possible. And then once I get the second book will go to those outside sources, and the same for the third after a few months. I really want to spread my book, and I may end up having an author website. So keep an eye out on the Facebook page, because I'll definitely keep updating there.
Okay. Okay. And you said they can find it on Amazon?
You can find it on Amazon. I'll also give him a link so he can post it as well.
I got you. I will definitely share that with people. I'm all over the place. Okay. Okay. I act like I cannot type. All right. Okay, boom. All right, so you guys can follow Joshua's new book on his page on Facebook called Between Laughter and Magic.
It's between Laughter and Magic.
Yes. Like I said, I'll edit it now.
Sorry, it's just I'm worried they'll find a different page. I just want to make sure they get the right one.
Oh no, you're good. I thank you.
Would you like me to I mean, we can link it for sure, but would you like a picture of the copy cover copy so they know what to look for?
Definitely. If you want to do that, you can. But yes, you can, like I said, guys, you can follow Joshua's Author Face on Facebook, name between laughter and magic, the boy with two voices. Also, you can find this book on Amazon. You can type it in between laughter and magic. The boy with two voices. Just follow his journey, his page. He's gonna be coming out with he's gonna be 3 parts to this. This is the first part. Everything's pretty much available. You can check it out. Please purchase, y'all. It will really help him, get sales, also get his story out there.
Yeah. And this isn't my only book. I'm definitely going to return to the Gladiator one. Now that I've written my own book, once I finish this series, I'm definitely going to return to it. Now that I've found my footing.
All right, tell the people your social media, what do you have. Let them know where they can follow you.
I have Facebook. If you look up Joshua Trail, you can find me. It's literally the picture of Deadpool dog. That's my Facebook. If you want to follow me on Instagram, let me just check what I have it as. Hold on. Let's see. It's Marshmallow Knight, but it's spelled MARSHMALLOW Knight, as in like King Arthur's Knight.
Yeah, I will put all Joshua's social media information in the description after the video. When I post this video. If you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm everywhere, y'all. I'm everywhere. Like I said, I'm a brat. Like I said, I tell people all the time when I interview people. I've interviewed so many people in my short career, I say. I have interviewed for celebrities. I have strong connections. But I kind of really, when I saw that you published the book, number one, I was mightily surprised. First of all, very proud of you for mustering the courage. Number two, I'm very proud that you mature into this, this young man that is able to articulate himself very clearly. And I'm so proud that you took something and you made it into a reality. Okay. But when I saw this podcast, I was like, I have to have you on my podcast. This is the first podcast of 2026, and I tell people all the time, when you're on the show, I give you the freedom to speak your truth, speak your journey. Also, most importantly, I kind of give way and give space to those that kind of, you can talk about your journey, you can talk about your life, because this is what this platform is for. Talk about our journeys. Talk about what the accomplishments that we have made.
Yeah.
What is the final message do you want to give to the people?
Well, it's possible. I mean, hey, if I can do it, so can you. You just gotta find the tools that work with you and don't be afraid to use them. That's the thing. A lot of people are afraid to use these tools. Don't be. Don't let it do the work for you. Make it your own work, but don't be afraid to use them. They're very helpful. Find people you can surround yourself with that will help you stay motivated, who are as encouraged to follow you in this journey as you are, and just keep walking. One chapter will turn into 3, 3 will turn into 6, 6 will turn into 35, which is what I think mine is. So eventually you'll have it.
No, you can go ahead. I'm just trying to find your page because I want to post it on here.
Yeah.
The name, the title of the book, if I can. There you go. Oh, you already got 24 followers. So you're building slowly but surely. So I'm proud of you. All right. So you got video. Do you have like a photo? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna screenshot this, and then I'm going to upload this.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's not what I wanted. Hold on.
For everybody listening, it's possible. You got this. 1 foot, that's all it takes. 1 chapter, that's all it takes. 1 day at a time.
Yeah. All right. So let me go to my email. Which one I want to do? Just to tell you, ADHD and autism is schizophrenia. Okay. All right. Let's do that. All right. All right. So let's do that. Gotta go to. You can still see me. I just gotta go to the browser and upload this. Okay. Boom. 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 I'm gonna go here. All right. While I'm doing this, I wanna also you say for the book, are you saying between 3 6 months that you would have the second book out?
3 months for the second book, roughly, because I'll probably write it over spring break, or leading up to spring break while I'm in my intro to writing class, and then about 6 months for the third book. I just want to give some time in between so I can really articulate my ideas in a way that, makes the story entertaining for the reader.
Okay. All right. All right. So, and the photo now.
And yes, I
Boom.
already have the cover art for the next 2 books, and I already have the stories for the next 2 books. It's all about making it work.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So all right. So if you guys want to know what the book looks like, I'm gonna go ahead and upload it now. I can find how to do that. I'm a little slow today. How can I do that? How can I? Okay. I think boom. Okay, so file, and then we'll okay, so this is his book, y'all. This is called Between Laughter and Magic. The boy with 2 voices. All right, let's see. Boom. We got it. All right. And this is you can pretty much find this on Instagram. You can find it on Amazon. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the screen now.
And yes, it's on Kindle Unlimited.
Okay.
So you're welcome to get the book free if you have a subscription with that.
Yeah, you got it available on Kindle ebook. You got a hardcover and you got the paperback. Paperback is $15.99. Hardcover is $22.99. Guys, this is his book. I started seeing. First of all, I started reading the sample, and I'm telling you, it if you are into sci-fi and fantasy and horror and all of Orange One, and if you want to kind of question life and you want to question everything, this is the book. Between Laughter and Magic, the boy with 2 voices. This is Joshua Trail, and he is the author of this book. We want to say congratulations to him for writing this beautiful book. Also, I want to kind of Joshua, thank you for joining me today. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and I'm honored that Higher Path Media gets to introduce your work to the world. Your book reminds us that imagination is powerful, and that the magic still lives within us when we allow it.
May I add one thing before we sign off?
Go ahead.
When you look it up on Amazon, for those who would like to look it up, if you look up Between Laughter and Magic, it's one of the first searches, or you can just scroll down a little bit. But if you look up The Boy with 2 Voices, it's much harder to find. Just to keep that in mind. And I also want to thank Chris for having me. It's been really fun. I thought I'd be super nervous being on here, and yet it just kind of flowed, It felt very natural, just like talking to an old friend.
Of course.
Who I've never met before.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes. Thank you so much, Joshua. I appreciate it. Of course, we'll catch up on a catch up, and you have my information, so you know how to reach me. I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be your first interviewer, and I am looking forward to sharing your journey, sharing this path with you. And I want to let you know that we're gonna make sure this book is bestseller. We're definitely gonna make sure of that. But I like I said, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
If you have any questions if anybody, not you, anybody out there have any questions, you're more than happy. Like I said, we'll get Joshua's
Oh,
social media information on the
if you
description.
if you'd like, I could put my email. It's in the
Yeah, go
Facebook,
ahead.
but I could put my email, and then you can email me there if you have questions about the book. It's
Okay.
Joshua D Trail. So it's Joshua D as in David Trail at gmail.com.
Okay. So we're gonna go. Let me go ahead and type that before we go. How can I? Okay, here we go. Joshua. Ooh, can't even spell right, huh? All right. Joshua D Trail at gmail.com. All right. So this is the email, y'all. So if you have any questions about the book, if you want to know more information about what he's doing, what the journey is, this is his email. Contact him. I will truly appreciate that. Thank you, Joshua. Until when we get to the second book, of course, you'll be on the
I'll be
podcast.
back. I'll
But
be back.
until then, enjoy this book, y'all. Enjoy this book. I recommend it 100%. And I tell you, thank you so much for writing this book. It's going to help a lot of people. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. And I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All righty, y'all. Welcome. Okay, so I want to kind of end this. If you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Remember, these are just we're just speaking our own truth, sharing our authentic reflection, and let the conversation flow naturally. This is Higher Path Media with faith, consciousness, and storytelling me. Until next time, walk in awareness and stay connected to the higher path. And this is the boy Chris Noble, and I see you soon.